What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the MLB 22 hitting tips video. So I know typically a lot of people run through their settings in the main menu. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you obviously my settings, what I use to hit, but by no means do you have to follow exactly what I do. I would actually recommend probably against trying to follow exactly what I do. So just for the main essence of this, we're going to show fastballs. We'll add more later on. I'm actually going to switch it to All-Star. Normally I'll hit on Hall of Fame, but because we have so many new players to the game, Switch players, welcome. Xbox players, welcome back. But so my hitting, I use strike zone. Zone hitting, that's your PCI. For me, I only use diamonds, no inner, no outer, 100% transparency. I don't use the anchor. I haven't found a use for it yet, but that's just me. If you feel like it works better for you, go for it. So, onto the actual hitting. There's going to be a lot of hitting tips videos coming out today and the next week or so. Again, go for it. If you feel like you need top tier hitting tips by any means, go to guys like Magunsky, Pitching Rebel, your friend Kyle. I know Scan and Kreiner probably by this time already have theirs out. I know Thurney has his out as well. I'm going to more cover the mental hitting approach that I use, that anyone can really use to benefit their gameplay in a way that works for them without changing their natural approach. So we're going to be facing Jacob deGrom here with Mike Trout. So the pitch comes in. My main tip is really center your approach. So yeah, I'm a little under that. But for me, I felt comfortable with that swing even though I'm a million miles under it. See that one? I'm still under it, which is okay. The way I like to think about it, that's a brutal swing, that's a home run, but it's going to ship it even with nerfed elevation. But, find your pitch to hit, time the way that you feel most comfortable timing the ball. I know Gunsky uses a lot of the click, click, click method. That's something that I use personally. For those that don't know the click, 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 I will leave that video. It's a few years old, but the essence of it is still the same. I will leave that in the description down below if he doesn't already have a new video out. If it is a new video, I will also link that in the description below. But for those that don't know what it is, I'll try to give a brief synopsis here. So click, click, click. See, my timing is good. My PCI is a little under it, but this isn't, like I said, this isn't about your PCI, because for me, it's what works. Actually, just for this, I'm actually going to put on all in the zone. And I think I messed it up. No, I didn't. Okay. So this is all pitches in the zone. So for me, I always find it's easier to center your approach so that you're not getting fooled on a pitch. There, I'm just early, but I am pulling that ball. So right there, that's where I'm centered on the plate. A lot of people talk about cutting the plate in half. I want to cover all pitches in the zone as much as possible. So I see the pitch come in. I'm very early on that. Honestly, on 98, I'm totally okay with it. So again, this hitting tips video really isn't going to be about, what the top players do, because I've struggled with having so many voices in my head when I'm hitting that this is the mental approach to it, where I'm just trying to work as much as I can on keeping my mental approach the same. And for me, and I think this is really going to help with MLB 22 especially, is try to hit as many line drives as possible. For me, like that's a perfect liner. That's what I'm going for. Because you're going to see with the PCI, there's the three dots. There's the three dots. The one on the bottom is really small. For most hitters that you're going to use on your God squads, it's going to be really small. But you have that the middle one right there. And that one is the one that I personally want all my hits to be in. Because if you're a little bit under it, perfect. You've hit a perfect fly ball. It's going to be a home run most of the time. For me, right there, that's a perfect example. I wanted to square it up as much as I could with the middle diamond on my PCI. But because I'm just slightly under it, I'm hitting it a little bit more for power. I'm hitting a little bit more of that loft. And that's what you call that launch angle that in today's MLB, they really talk a lot about, is that launch angle. But the easiest thing to do in baseball is hit a line drive. When hitting. Hitting is hard enough as is. Ground ball. If you're squaring it up, you're trying to hit that line drive. Really all that a perfect fly ball is that's different from a line drive is the fact that you're just elevating it a little bit. So if you're trying to actually hit, I just swung and missed there, but if you're trying to hit a line drive, your hitting is naturally gonna be better. Yeah, you're still gonna get the ground balls. Yeah, you're still gonna hit probably some line outs. Right here is just because I'm talking that my hitting is suffering a little bit. But right there, that's a line drive that probably is a double. Maybe it's a line out. If your opponent's outfield is positioned perfectly, that's a line out. But that's my main hitting tip is just, find that pitch you want to hit and just try to drive it as a liner. You're still going to hit a good amount of home runs. You're still going to hit a lot of doubles, a lot of triples, singles, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for your opponent because of the fact that's my next tip is just be patient. You're going to get a lot of pitches that you want to hit, but right there, I could take that if I wanted to. I really could take that if I want to. That's a pitch I know I can drive. All right, a little early. So, a lot of people in the community, again, I'm going to just tell you exactly what you're going to hear, where there's a lot of and I'm not trying to bash any creators. I'm really not. But a lot of it, my own mental struggle was when I started, and I've only started being competitive about 2 years ago in terms of, trying to make World Series every year, trying to make World Series every ranked season, which for me, I never thought was possible until about a few years ago. I actually decided, all right, I'm going to try this. And I was fairly good. I tried about 9 times last year, and MLB 21. I made it 8 times, which is pretty good. That's pretty solid. And like I said, what comes down to it for me is how much I can line that ball somewhere. I'm not trying to hit it perfect every single time and try to hit home runs, because I don't want my offense to be as one-dimensional as that. I want to be able to hit as many doubles and singles as I can. I'm not trying to always hit home runs. I just want to hit the ball hard somewhere. And like I said, a lot of good hitting tips that I've used to develop my game will be in the description down below. But please just understand, you do not always have to follow those to a T. If you want to set up, if someone tells you, hey, set up right here, and you don't feel comfortable doing that, do not do it. Do not do it. If you feel more comfortable setting up inside here, which for me is personally a little risky because I always feel like I'm pulling off on the ball. That's a great swing right there. But please, 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 please do what's best for you. Do not feel like you have to copy someone exactly. I've used a lot of hitting tips to model my game to what I've become, but I'm trying my best to just make the game your own. Do not feel like you always have to copycat someone. And yeah, that's a bad swing, but for any general questions on hitting, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the description, in the comments down below. I will try my best to answer as many of them as I can to the best of my abilities. And after that, honestly, thank you guys so much for watching. No Money Spent series, the pack opening was yesterday's video. And I'm just going to take a few swings here so that you can pick it apart as much as you want. They're not going to be great swings. It's my first time actually hitting in this game. And thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Bye. There we go. That's a perfect one to end it on. That's perfect.